back to my channel. Today we have another digital designs that I think I've decided to name DIY designs. So this is where we go on like SketchUp or other different design apps. We make a mood board and we make digital, beautiful dream spaces. So in today's case, I'm doing sort of like an imaginary sort of dream kitchen. If you didn't see the first episode, I actually took my future room at college in like a month and a half, which is crazy to say. I actually designed that out, made a mood board, and showed you guys everything. So I'll be sure to link that down below if you want to check it out. But yeah, like I said, today we're doing a dream kitchen, and I have this new app that I found called Floorplanner. We're going to use that. We're going to make a little mood board and talk about just some dreams and desires that I have in my future ultimate kitchen. So if you're new here, make sure that you subscribe down below for new DIY design and lifestyle videos every single week on my channel. I make a new video every single Wednesday, and I'd love to have you. And give this video a thumbs up and leave some comments down below on some must-haves that you'd like in your future kitchen, or any other recommendations or spaces that you want to see me design in future episodes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you guys is an app that I use to create mood boards. It's called Milanote. It's free, so I obviously love it, and you can use it to make all sorts of different things. You could use it to make like a dream board, or even if you're like getting married and you want to like put together a mood board for your wedding. And like for my case, I'm using it for kind of like a room mood board and the different elements that I want to incorporate. So there's so many different things you can use it for, and it's super easy to use. It's really fun to use. I could sit on this app all day long, but this is essentially what it looks like. I have like a bathroom sort of design, and then the last episode of this series, my college room mood board. So we're going to create a new one. So we're going to make a new board here, and I'm just going to title it Dream Kitchen. Alright, so when we open this up, it's going to leave us with a very blank canvas, which is really nice. You can really go any sort of direction with it. You can make like to-do lists, you can do links, so like if there's certain items or things you want to like order or something, you can specifically put those into the mood board. You can also do different comments, and you can section it off in columns, add images. There's all sorts of different things that you can do. So the first thing I want to do is make a little text box in the middle. That's kind of how I like to do it, and sort of section it off in different places. So I think I'm going to grab a text box here and put it right in the middle. Alright, so whenever I do these sorts of mood boards, I start with Pinterest, and I also go to Google and I look for some different images that I really like. So I'm going to start out by going to Pinterest, and I'm going to go into my kitchen inspiration board. I have boards for like all kinds of different rooms and stuff just because I love designing things. The first one that catches my eye is this image right here. Something that I really love for kitchens is sort of like a two-toned natural look. So I like the cabinets, everything to be white and bright, but I like the island in the middle to sort of be like a nice wood tone, if that makes sense, to sort of bring in some depth, bring in a little bit of color without like actual color. So this is kind of what we're going to start with. So I'm going to visit this page here, and I'm going to see if I can save this image, and then we'll put it into our mood board. And then to add an image, I'm just going to tap the add an image little icon here. We're going to upload an image, and select the image that we want to put in. Then you just sort of drag everything in, and obviously you can like resize and everything, make things bigger, but this is going to be our starting point. I'm going to go through Pinterest and Google and try to find some inspiration pics and just like different small elements like hardware and countertops, backsplash, bar stools, things like that that I kind of want to incorporate. And then from there we'll go into Floorplanner, and we'll sort of put everything into the space and make it look as much like our mood board as we can. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, so the mood board is all put together, and this is my absolute dream, hence the dream kitchen sort of vibe. So I'm going to walk you through a little bit on the different elements and things. And this is the first image that we added. I really love the wooden island. It's not exactly what I have in mind. I'm not sure how I feel about this open shelving, but I just love that sort of like neutral tone of wood where it's like kind of gray, but also very warm and light and airy. And then I love different styling elements and things that I just want to incorporate. So I found a couple of things. I have these little wooden cutting boards. I love the round ones. I think they're so pretty, especially against like a white or like a light backsplash. So I think that's really pretty. And then sort of down here, I have like eucalyptus. I would love to get some faux eucalyptus and like put it in vases or like a little pot or something like that, just to sort of bring in that sort of nature element. I really love this plant that's on this island as well. I love how big it is and how fun. And then I also have this brass hardware. I don't want super modern hardware. I kind of am having a phase with antique looking things, and I think this is just like the perfect mix of modern but also just sort of traditional looking. And I'm not quite, I don't know. I had a really hard time deciding on like pendants to go like over the bar area. I don't think I like this big light here because I feel like it just kind of overwhelms the space. It really also just depends on like ceiling height and so many different factors. So I picked out this one for now. I kind of like how simple it is. It's kind of modern, but you can also sort of see through it so it doesn't feel like it's taking up too much space. That's subject to change, obviously. And then I have this sort of shelf styling. I don't really have it built in to the app that I'm going to show you guys in a second because I don't think they really have that as like an option, but I would love to have some open wood shelving with some fun sort of styling moments, vintage pieces, glassware, and all sorts of stuff. So I would love to incorporate that element. And then at the seating sort of bar area, I found this stool. I think it was Wayfair or something. I like the mix of the wood, a little bit of wicker, and it's sort of light and bright. And I also like stools that have like the sort of backs on them or arms just because it's a lot more comfortable. And then for backsplash options, I have a couple different ones. I definitely want something light. I don't know if I want like bright white. This sort of handmade, slightly mismatched sort of square tile has been super popular and I love it. Another thing I love the option of is this sort of hexagon tile. It's quite a bit more modern, but I feel like if you do like a white grout in between, it would just be such a fun sort of element. So those are a couple different options. And lastly, we have the pantry door. I will show you guys again in the app. I did make like a little room for my pantry. My dream is to have a walk-in pantry because I love organization. I love having space. And this is the sort of door I would love to incorporate in that. Some sort of like vintage door that you just like find at some garage sale or just anywhere, some sort of vintage door with little windows in it. It would also be really cool to sort of have like a frosted glass so you can kind of see in but kind of not. So we have like a boho vintage modern sort of feel going on in here. And now we're going to go into Floorplanner and I'm going to show you guys kind of what I have worked up so far. Okay, so this is what the app Floorplanner looks like. In the last episode of this series I used SketchUp, and I would have, but SketchUp is a little bit more like you kind of have to make everything yourself unless you want your program to run super slow. So I thought this was a really good option to sort of get a fast sort of vision on how everything is going to work. So also I do apologize, I haven't used this app very much, so if I'm a little finicky with it or I zoom in and zoom out super fast, that would be why. I'm not used to it yet. So what's really cool is there's this sort of 2D mode and 3D mode up in the corner here, and you can see the layout in the two-dimensional form. You can sort of see the L-shaped kitchen and something that was as close to the wooden island that I want in the middle. And then I sort of just built the rest of the room because I would love to do like an open floor concept, but we're not really gonna touch this area. I just put a little dining table. It's just the most basic thing that they had just to fill up some space. And then this is the walk-in pantry. And then I'll go into the 3D view. In terms of like comparison with SketchUp, there obviously are less options for things that you can put in this space. So I haven't done anything to the floors or the walls, so keep that in mind. But this is kind of the closest to what I could find. I think I would like to do the open shelves like right here on this wall or like either side of like where the sink is with the windows. I knew that I also wanted really big windows because I love natural light, especially above the sink when I do dishes and stuff. Again, that wood island, the pantry is right over here. And like I said, this is just the most basic dining table. I didn't really put much thought into it. It's just kind of a placeholder. And this is kind of where we're going to start. Another thing that I want to mention, I don't like these countertops, but like I said, there are a few limited options when you use an app like this that sort of just has all of the basics that you need. So we're gonna go back into 2D and we're going to pick out our floors first. So these might be a little mismatched. Of course, like I said, you can't get like a custom sort of wood stain in this sort of program. So we're going to go into, I think it's going to be this right here, sort of paint icon. We're going to go into materials, and we already have wood popped up here. So let's see. I know I don't want anything like too light or sort of whitewashed looking. I want it to be super warm and cozy. Let's try this one. And we'll just sort of drop it in here. Let me see what it looks like in 3D because it looks kind of funny in 2D right now. I'm not a fan on like how skinny the planks are. I like really, really wide planks. Let's see what else we can find here. Okay, so I think we're gonna land on this homemade by PVC velour. I'm not quite sure what that means, but we'll go into the 3D here. This is kind of what it looks like. I like the sort of neutral tone. It's warm, but it's also not super, super warm, kind of like this kitchen island is here that I was able to find, but this is what we're gonna go with for now. Now let's move on to the backsplash. So let's see what we have. We're gonna materials, and tile should be in here. Oh, this one is actually very similar to the white tile that we had earlier. So I'm gonna put it on that wall and also this wall. I really like the idea of floor to ceiling tile, or even just like some people have carried their backsplashes up like to the ceiling or whatever. I just think that'll be really, really nice in terms of cleaning and maintenance and things. I'm gonna go into 3D and see how that looks. Oh, whoops, I did it wrong. Just a second. I forgot that you need to like put it on the wall and then select whether you want it inside or outside. So we're gonna put it outside. We're gonna put it inside and then do the same on this. A little large, but I think that really gives us that sort of light and bright feeling. Now I think I want to find some sort of vent hood. Those birds are really, really loud. I'm not quite sure if I want like wood or white. I guess we'll just kind of see what options they have, because maybe they only have a couple different options, or none at all. We'll just have to use our imagination. Another great thing is you have this sort of search bar in the furniture section where you can just sort of type in whatever you're looking for. So let's do, what are they called? Stove hoods. Stove hood? So looks like they have a bunch of stainless steel ones. Nah, they don't really have. Oh, I really like that stove. I just kind of went with the basic one, so maybe I'll put that next to it. I've also always wanted a gas stove, but we've had electric our whole entire like lives, and I'm gonna adjust the cabinets and stuff really quick, so 1 second. All right, so I adjusted everything a little bit. I actually ended up putting 2 ranges on here just because it fit better, and like I said, it's a dream kitchen, so it'd actually be really, really nice to have that many burners. Let's go back to the vent hood. I'm probably gonna have to do kind of like a silver one, so I'm just gonna grab a random one. All right, so that's centered. Let's see, what should we work on next? Let's see if we can find kitchen bar stools, because I want to see what they have. Okay, we have a not terrible variety. Okay, maybe it is a terrible variety. Ugh, I wish I had like some white ones or something that's just like a little bit similar. This is so funny. This is totally not the vibe we're going for, but we're working with what we got. And I don't know, maybe we'll stick one on the end here just because we can. Okay, not bad considering the weird futuristic looking chairs. Let's see if they have anything for pendants. I'm not expecting very much, just based on what they have for bar stools, but I guess we'll look. Oh my gosh, I've got to put a fridge in here. I'm gonna delete this cabinet and put the fridge here then, I guess. Oh, this one's actually very, very similar to the one that I picked out. How many do you want to do? Maybe like 3? So like center this one and then put 2 on either side. Nice. All right, let's bring a tiny bit of color into this space. I love neutrals, but we need like some runners or like a rug in here or something to bring in some color. Let's type in runners and see what we get. Something in this sort of pattern has really been like calling my name lately. I love the like antique-ness of it. As much as I love like light and bright runners and rugs, they're gonna get dirty super fast, and we need to bring a little bit of I don't know what's happening in my kitchen. Sorry if you heard that. We need to bring a little bit of color into the space, and I just love this sort of ornate pattern. So I'm gonna try to find something as close as possible. All right, so this is the runner that I found. I like it because it's those sort of pink warm tones that we were just looking at. And while I was doing that, I found another feature on this app that's actually very helpful. I thought it'd be really nice to be able to adjust the cabinet height. So as you can see, these ones are a bit higher up. If you just sort of go into this 3D view and you tap on it, you can sort of adjust that height. The only thing is I can't like match it to the others perfectly, but I guess it's quite forgiving. So I'm just going to adjust everything to be a little bit higher. And while we're here, I am also going to see if they have any options for open shelving. I didn't find any earlier, but I do want to try. Ooh, I found some. Okay, I didn't think it was going to be that easy. Let's see. I think I want to do the open shelving on this wall just because we have the fridge here, and I feel like, yeah, I think we'll do that. And maybe around here. Another option, we could move this to the end, and kind of like in a perfect world, I would sort of wrap the side of the fridge in like the same sort of wood as this cabinet, and then maybe we could just do open shelving on the two sides of the windows. That way we could keep some of the cupboards, some of like the storage above that's more practical for like everyday use things. So maybe we should do that. So I'm gonna switch these two around and we will place our shelves. Oh, they're cute. They're a little long, but they'll work for the sake of this video. Ooh, so, oops, sorry. I love those, and just the warmth that it brings and just the sort of flow that I'm getting. So up next, I think from here all we really have left is styling and things, so I want to see what they have. I know that they have different appliances and other decor pieces and stuff like that, so I'm going to mess with that a little bit, get a little centerpiece, and then I'll show you guys kind of the final overview of what this kitchen is going to look like, and I'm excited to share it with you. So I've been working on this for quite a bit. I could probably sit and do this all day long, but this is the final tour that I'm going to show you. So just from like the two-dimensional sort of view, you can sort of see that I added a few things to the counter. I also added another one of these runners, and I just sort of overlapped them. I would love to have a bit of a longer runner, that way it kind of covers that whole entire sort of side of that kitchen. And now we're going to go into 3D mode, and of course these aren't all the accessories that I would add maybe in real life, but this is just a few of the things that I wanted to add to make it seem more lived in and homey and cozy. So let's zoom in here. So first things first, we will start with this island. I love the idea of having a little serving tray in the middle, and then I found pretty much the exact same eucalyptus plant from my mood board in that sort of clear vase, and it just sort of sits on that tray and it's really cute. And then I found these really fun sort of industrial rustic looking candle holders. And now let's move on over to the stove. So this is about what we're working with. I love the idea of having a little sort of vintage print or frame, something like this sitting on the counter, and then a little fruit bowl that's just practical for everyday use and everything, and then some salt and pepper shakers. I also have a little cake stand over here. I love the idea of having like muffins in there or even a cake or something, and I just think it looks really pretty. I love the rustic sort of detail. I added a little pot on the stove here and also some cutlery back here in this corner. Not sure if you can see it very well. And then over here I kept it super simple over by the windows and all of the shelving. So I have that stand mixer in the corner. I definitely think that I'd keep mine out on display all the time. I don't know what color I'd get in real life. I think it'd be like that sort of tealy color or white, or I don't know, I'm not really sure. But either way, I'd love to have it sit out just because I feel like I'd use it a lot, and also it's just one of those things that's like super heavy and kind of hard to get off of a cupboard, which is where we keep ours. So I'd love to have it out on display. And then over here by the sink, I did add a couple little faucets. I didn't find exactly what I wanted, so this is just the best I could do with a sort of brass looking faucet. And then I added this little dish. I don't know if you can see the details super well, but it's got a bunch of different like wood grains going in different directions. So I thought that was really cool, almost sort of like a herringbone pattern. And then I just put this little plant here. Ideally it'd be a little bit smaller and on this tray, and then a little soap dispenser because, you know, we use soap and stuff at the kitchen sink all the time. And then over here I decided to make sort of like a coffee bar nook. I don't even like coffee, but maybe in the future I will. So I think this is technically like an espresso maker. Don't really know, but I have that, and then I just have a couple little mugs. This one looks huge for some reason, but I liked the blue color of it. But I believe that is it. I think it turned out so pretty. Of course, it's not exactly how our mood board is, but I really, really love how it turned out. Let me know in the comments below which part was your favorite, and again, some of the essentials or just like the dream appliances and just things that you would love to have in your future dream kitchen, or maybe things in your kitchen that aren't super common but super, super helpful and practical. I would love to know that as well. And make sure that you give this video a thumbs up. You subscribe if you're new for new DIY home and lifestyle content every single week, just like this video. And this was really, really fun. I'm excited for the next episode of this series, and yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week so far, and I cannot wait to see you guys next week in my next video. Bye, you guys.